When Elliot first met this dog, he knew right away that he could not leave him out on the street. But after Snoop ended up at home, Elliot began to notice one very strange habit that seemed funny at first, but pretty quickly became impossible to ignore. And to understand why Snoop started acting that way, you have to go back to the time when he did not have a home. Before he met Elliot, this dog lived on the street and looked like he had gotten used to depending only on himself. It was clear that life had been hard on him. Dirty fur, constant alertness, and the behavior of a dog who had spent too long surviving on his own. When Elliot noticed him, he could not just walk past. He quickly got the feeling that he needed to take him out of there and give him a chance at a different life. That is how the dog ended up in Elliot's home and got his name, Snoop. And almost right away, something happened that Elliot did not expect at all. Snoop acted like he fully understood exactly what had happened. Around Elliot, he relaxed, as if he felt that his life was going to be different now. Snoop quickly got attached to Elliot, and for Elliot himself, it was a completely new feeling. He had never had a dog before, so he did not expect an animal to be drawn to a person that strongly. Snoop always stayed close, watched carefully what Elliot was doing, and seems like he didn't want to be left out for even a second. A bond formed between them that Elliot found hard to explain, and the more time they spent together, the stronger it felt. That was when Elliot began to notice something unusual in Snoop's behavior. At first, it was almost easy to miss, but little by little, it turned into his regular habit. Elliot lived out in the countryside, so after life on the street, Snoop found himself in a place with open space, regular walks, and the freedom to run almost anywhere. Snoop quickly settled into that life, and on walks, he tried to explore everything around him. He was always sniffing something, getting into the mud, and looking like he was truly enjoying what was happening for the first time in a long while. And the more Elliot watched him in those moments, the more he felt that he had made the right decision by taking him off the street. But around that same time, one strange thing in Snoop's behavior began to show up more and more often. At first, it could have seemed like ordinary play, but soon it became clear that, for Snoop, it meant something much bigger, and it was no longer possible to ignore. At first, Elliot didn't think much of it at all. During walks, Snoop would simply pick up small sticks and carry them in his mouth with a satisfied look. But Elliot started to notice that those sticks were getting bigger and bigger. Each year, Snoop seemed to choose a stick larger than the last one on purpose. At some point, regular sticks turned into heavy branches that he stubbornly dragged along, catching them on the ground, bushes, and everything around him, but still refusing to drop them.
Good boy.
Snoop is 5 years old now, and on walks, he is always looking for the biggest branches he can possibly lift. On top of that, he tries to bring about half of them home, as if they are something truly valuable. From the outside, it looked both strange and funny, and Elliot could no longer imagine their walks without this habit. But right there on those same walks, Snoop showed another trait that was also impossible not to notice. Snoop absolutely loved mud. As soon as he saw a puddle or soft, wet ground, he would run straight to it and start rolling around with such joy, as if nothing better in life could possibly exist. After that, he would come home completely covered in mud and clearly very pleased with himself. But despite how much he loved mud, Snoop could not stand baths. Every time Elliot tried to get him into the shower, it turned into a whole separate challenge, because Snoop would immediately dig in and show with his whole body that he did not like it at all.
Come on, Snoop. In you get. Come on. In you get.
And at the same time, Elliot began to notice more and more often that Snoop did not like being alone either. If Elliot went upstairs, Snoop immediately ran after him. If he simply moved to another room, Snoop was already right there beside him. It was like he was constantly checking where Elliot was. And over time, that made Elliot wonder why being close to him mattered so much to Snoop. Before this, Elliot had never thought he could get so attached to a dog. Before Snoop came into his life, he had never had that kind of experience, so a lot about their relationship was new to him. He felt it especially strongly during difficult times when Snoop would literally stay by his side every step of the way. And the longer Elliot watched him, the more all of Snoop's habits came together into one bigger picture. Those huge branches he stubbornly dragged home, the constant need to stay close, and even the way he carefully watched Elliot's every move, all of it looked like Snoop simply did not want to lose the life he had been given. And sometimes, Elliot feels like Snoop still remembers the moment when someone finally did not walk past him, took him off the street, and gave him a completely different life.